Hi guys, good evening to you all. Welcome back to lesson 5. In our previous lesson, we discussed and talked about like the conclusion aspect of the backstage view. So we talked about the new, the savers, and other command like the close command, the option command, the account command that's located at the backstage view in the file tab, right? So in this very lesson, we will go back to the home screen, which is the interface of Microsoft Word, and there we will begin fully with the tabs. All right, so that is actually the ribbon. So we're going to talk about how this ribbon itself is categorized into various sections like the tabs, the groups, and the commands. Do you understand? So that's what we're going to be talking about today. So to launch Microsoft Word, you just hit the Microsoft Word, that's the Windows button rather. So you hit this Windows button that is here. So you hit the button, you just want to type Word and you open the Word program itself, right? So we're going to be sticking to um, the Microsoft Word and the tabs, the groups, and the commands, all right? So let me launch one thing. All right, good. So now we have dealt with the fighter thoroughly. You can check the previous videos, like lesson one, lesson three, lesson four, right? So in lesson five, like I mentioned, we're going to be talking more about the file, the home tab, the insert tab, and all other tabs that are categorized under the ribbon. So please, if this is your first time and your first time coming across my videos, please do well to like, share, and subscribe if you find it helpful. All right, so let's begin. All right, so the home tab, as you can see here, the insert tab and all the other tabs that are here, you can notice that they are kind of the people mix like kind of mix up the usage for all of these commands, but in this video I'm going to break it down for you to perfectly understand it. Okay, so let me take out all of this content on the screen. So here we want to talk about the ribbon itself. Okay, so the ribbon you see here is let me show you the complete part of the ribbon, okay? So the ribbon starts from this very part, from the file tab here, all the way down to this very ending, all the way down to this very ending. So this is the section that contains the ribbon. So every part that I am drawing out here like this is the ribbon. Every part you see I draw here is the ribbon. The other part is the quick access toolbar and the rest, and the bottom part is the document area. Okay, so this is the ribbon. Now we're going to start to talk about we have already dealt with file. So the next one now is the home tab. Okay, so first of all, what do we understand about this ribbon? What do we understand about this ribbon? Like I mentioned, ribbon is a set of commands that we use to insert pictures, charts, images, etc. to create documents. So, but the ribbon, the commands that we use are not just there. So they are actually sections so that when whatever kind of tool that we need is easily being located. Okay, so that is the essence of categorizing the ribbon. All right, so now the first part of the ribbon is called the tab. Now the tab are the first section, that is the first categories that we section out inside the ribbon. All right, so the first one you could see is the home tab. Okay, so we have it as the home tab. We have the next one there as the insert tab. So what you see here, like all of these informations here at the top here like this, all of these things are the tabs. So we call them the tabs. So you can see that they are sectioned, different categories and all of that, down to the mailings, the review, the view, and the help. All of these things you see at the very top there are tabs. Everything you see there are tabs. Okay. Now let's start with the ones the home tab. All right. So we're going to be sticking with the home tab. So let's delete this. and we're going to be talking about the Home tab. Now, the Home tab, if you should check this Home tab, it you could see some names at the very bottom part here like this. Let me show you the names I'm talking about. So first of all, you could see the clipboard, you could see the font, you could see the paragraph, you could see the styles, editing, and down to add-ins. All right. So all these things you are seeing at the bottom are different small, or I would say, subsections that are inside each of all these tabs. Okay. Every individual tab, such as the Insert tab, the Draw tab, the Design tab, all of them have these sections, these mini sections or subsections contained in them. All right. So first of all, let's see how these sections, how it is. So each of these sections are having names on it, and the names are these tiny little things you see at their bottom. So these are their names. All right. So these things you see at the bottom here like this, these are the names, all right? And what are these names? What are they for, all right? They are called the groups, okay? So this brings us to the number, this is the number one section, which is the tab, and the number two section is called the groups, okay? So the first group that is under the home tab is clipboard, okay? See, the second one is font, the third one is paragraph, the fourth one stars, fifth one editing, and the sixth one there is the add-ins. All of these things are called groups. Please do not forget. Now, how do we know that these ones are group? Now, if you should look closely, you would notice that there is a tiny gray line here. There's a tiny gray line here. So this tiny gray line is almost on every individual groups that are contained in the tabs. So if you check it, they are tiny gray lines. Okay, it means that this on home tab we have the clipboard group. On the same home tab we have the font group. On the same home tab we have another group called the paragraph. On the same home tab we have the styles group, we have the editing group, and also we have the add-ins group in all of these single tab called the home tab. Now if you move to the next tab, you will notice that the tabs there are different. The tabs there are different. So there we have the pages, the groups there are different rather under the home tab. We have the pages group, we have the tables group, we have the illustrations group, we have the media group, we have the links group, we have the comments group, we have the header group, the text group, and the symbols group. Okay, so all of each of these individual tabs, such as the insert tab, the draw tab, the design tab, have their own set of groups, right? So their groups do not look alike in any way. Their groups are different because they serve different purpose. Now, the third thing we want to talk about is, let's stick with the home tab. The third thing we're going to talk about is called the commands. Okay, so that's the third section under the ribbon. Now, let's go command. Now, let's make it like this since we're going to be dealing with plurals like this, all right? So now let's say the clipboard group. Let's start with the clipboard group. Now you will notice that there are some things, or some, I call them things because I don't really want to call them commands yet. They are actually called commands because they are clickable. When you click on them, they perform an action. So they are actually called a command because they are performing what actions when you click on them. So the first one here is the paste. Now when you click on paste, it will paste something or drop something that is currently on your clipboard or in your clipboard. Okay, now this X you see like a scissors here is cut. So what it does is it moves something, an object or a text, from its current position to another position or to a new position. All right, so this copy you see here is to duplicate an item or an object or a text. Okay, to duplicate it, that is what it does. So then the next one you see here is called the format painter. So format painter kind of mean when you have a particular format that you're formatted a text and you don't want to stress yourself to reformat another text the same way, you have the option to use that same format and copy that format and apply it to any part of your document. This is all the overview for the commands that are associated with the clipboard group. So the command there, if you want to count it, you'll see that the paste is number one, the cut is number two, the copy is number three, and the format painter is number four. Okay, so let's see how the next group is, which is the font. There are so many of these groups, and it will take so many length of videos, to walk you through on all of these tabs, groups, and their commands. Okay, so but I'm going to try my best to give you an overview of what to expect in the rest groups and their tabs. Okay, so the categories are same. Okay, they are all same. The same way it is categorized in the home tab, that same way it is categorized in the insert tab. Likewise, the draw tab. But all these tabs, their groups and their commands, they have specific purpose and specific use cases. Okay, so this is it. Now let's stick on the home tab. Why we stick on the home tab, or why we are starting with the home tab, is simply because most of all the commands you need to create a professional document are contained in the home tab. Most of it. And the most frequently used command tab that you would often use most of all your time creating professional documents would rally around the home tab and the insert tab. Most of the times, you would go to the other tabs, but not like the way you will be using the home and insert tab. You're going to be using the home and insert tab almost 70% of your workings, almost 70%. The rest can be splitted within the remaining 30%. Okay. So that being said, um, let's talk more. Let's talk more. Let's get a quick overview from the rest. So, like I've mentioned, every other group they have the same structure. Okay, the same structure. You can shake them out. You can click on them, and guess what? In case, lastly, you don't know the name of any command, do well to move your cursor and leave it at the top of the command. Then the name for that command would appear. In case you are unsure about the name of a particular command, just don't stress yourself too much, don't panic. Just bring your cursor and place it at the very top of the command like this, and you can see that this is called to insert a comment in your document. Likewise, any other, okay? Likewise, any other, like this one that is like normal is a command, but when you open your cursor on it, you see that it's a normal styling command, okay? This is no spacing, like meaning that there will be no space between your text and all that, okay? So this will be all for the ribbon, okay? So we have talked about the tabs. Tabs is the first section inside the ribbon. And we've talked about groups. Groups are the mini or the subsections contained in each of these tabs. All right. Then the command are all these buttons you see inside the group. Okay. Every button you see here, all of it are called the commands. Every button you see in each of these categories, okay, all of them are called, like I mentioned, there are gray lines here. All of these are gray lines. So all these commands you find within each of all these sections are called commands. Okay, they are all commands. Sorry, this is not a command, so I'm going to undo that. Now, sorry, that's not the section. That was what I'm trying to say. So everything you see here are all sections. Okay, so if you go to the insert tab, you get to see its own different kind of groups. Right? So this will be all for this video. In the next video, we're going to be talking about the other parts of this interface, okay? Like this bottom part, which talks about the status area of the Microsoft Word. So this bottom is where we're going to be working with or working on and discussing on the next video on lesson 6, right? So if this video was helpful to you, you find it helpful, and you would love to drop a comment, to express how you feel about the course. If there is any changes or maybe any adjustment you would like to make, you would like us to make in the upcoming videos, do well to drop your own comments, your own thoughts, and like, you can share and to your loved ones, and you know, and we look forward to seeing you guys in the next videos. So we're going to be talking well about the status bar. So please do have a great evening over your end, and stay blessed. Right? Bye.